Yes, I'm gonna talk today. Ha ha ha! Boy, after this morning, um, excuse me. When it gets cloudy and when the temperature drops just like a degree here, and everybody thinks, oh, it's back to winter. Everybody burns a fire, and I live on the second floor, and I'm the only, pretty much the only house in my block with a second story, and it's just the attic room, right? And all of the freaking wood fire smoke comes into my room. So, I mean, I have southern windows and western facing windows, so I mean, if I open both sets of windows, I get it, I can blow it out, but it does have the effect of suffocating me sometimes. So, yeah, this morning that tarot reading was crazy. I hope it didn't, like, topple anyone. I was having a really hard time putting things into words. I just could not, the words would just not come out. It was like some kind of weird, it wasn't even stage fright. It's like I could see what was in the cards. And then and this happens to me occasionally when I read, like I'll get a super powerful hit of like one or two cards meetings, and it'll just be like, whoa, like somebody splashes cold water on your face, and it has the sensation of it actually tickles, like it just tickles. So, yeah, what was happening was like all of the cards were doing that at once, and I was like, oh wait, this is like walking into a room full of people and they're all talking to me at the same time, and it tickled, and it was like then I couldn't talk, and it was very odd, but it was a good reading. Actually, it resonated with me personally. I have a situation at my job which I've complained about in the past. Today I was asked to present to members of our board regarding a marketing scheme, the marketing work that I've done in the last 2.5 years. And the question, the way it was presented to me was they are going to hire, the board is going to hire a contractor to do this fundraising work, and there's no coherent brand for the museum where I work. And so what have I been doing in terms of marketing? They want to know so that they can tell this contractor, who's going to make probably about 10 times more an hour than I make, or in a day even, where to pick up. And so I've been very defensive about it, as you can imagine, because I've done a lot of really hard work and I want to say top dollar work for that far exceeds my pay scale. And I'm not being vain, I just know the quality of my work. So I was defensive. Well, I came into the meeting and actually went really well, and one of the things that I was able to talk about was how the marketing going forward, I'm working on the equity, inclusion, and diversity policy for our museum, which we don't have one. We should. That and land acknowledgements. We're a history museum, don't have them. So I'm working on those things, and I just said flat out, our marketing and advertising, marketing, and messaging here forward has to include these things. And the board was all over, like, how do we do that, and how will it help us? Can we, what does that mean for fundraising? What does that mean for grant writing? And I have this wealth of experience and was able to. Now let me relate that to the tarot reading this morning. So you saw there were lots of swords, and then there was the Queen of Pentacles, kind of with her back to the whole thing, and she was Queen of Pentacles. This is self-care. This is taking care of yourself, and sometimes your own interests. And in this case, my interest is my work. Pentacles are also work. It's quantifiable, right? And in between the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords was the Eight of Swords, which is self-imprisonment, and the swords represent thought, so it can be a mental prison. So here I am in this mental prison of, I have to defend myself to the Two of Cups is a meeting, right? So it's all beautifully laid out there for me in this personal thing. And then the energy is moving from this authority who's questioning the discernment, right? The authority being the Emperor, who's facing the Queen of Swords on the other side of the reading. The Queen of Swords is discerning and seeks the truth and speaks the truth and is no bullshit zone, right? And it's moving, that energy is moving up to justice. And that's what happened. So I don't know how it played out for you, or it did for anyone, but on a personal level, that scenario did play out for me. And what was beautiful about it was that there was no card in there that was like, defend yourself. It was all speak the truth, be in your truth, right? And so I did that, and by doing that and defending I defended myself by speaking the truth. This is the work I have done, and this is how it will service, the greater institution in the future. I won myself a champion, a team of champions. It was kind of cool, super cool. Tarot is great that way. Yeah. So I also wanted to mention, I will mention this tomorrow, the rates I've been charging are like dramatically low because I want to make this accessible to people, but I am going to raise them after lockdown lifts, so probably the end of May. And there's a specific reason for that, and I was given some instructions about that. And it's still going to be accessible, but it's just going to make it so that I can actually go a little more in depth with the people that I'm working with, and do more of that for people. I also have started with one person who asked me specifically to teach them tarot. I am making that available. We can talk about a rate for that. And I may do sliding scales on things too. But I want to make sure that, I'm covered and that things are accessible to people. So it's not a greed issue. Yeah. It's not like, I don't have to defend that. I just gotta say, it's just gonna be more. It's okay. Cool. Okay, so I've had this like crazy day, and let's see if I can bring it all down into some kind of. I've been talking for 7 minutes. Sheesh. I'm so sorry you have had to listen to me. Let's listen to some music, or so-called music. So one of my favorite improvs that I did with Nurusu 3, we would do these sets, and I've talked about this before, but we would go out and do these sets where we would say, okay, we're going to do a suite of 4 30-second pieces. And we did those, and I loved them because we would like be on the money every time. 30 seconds, break, 30 seconds, break. And it became this like series of miniature movements, and they were always so cohesive, so cool. So maybe I'll do that. One more? Okay, I hope I hope that was worth slogging through my yakety yak about my work day, because I can't think of anything less boring. Less boring, more boring. That's my problem. Words just are not my friends today. Although I kicked butt in that meeting, I gotta say. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for me. I need to move on to other things. I actually need to sit down and write some notes on paper. I owe some people some notes on paper. And I don't mean love notes. Well, yeah, I do. Okay, I'm out. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow.